So today, we are going to talk about the promise Micheal made to the neighbors and the agreements and if you have not checked out my other video about the billionaire tax, please go watch it now. Let us get back to the video. So nowadays when you go to Google Satellite View, the most recent images show that despite his original plans getting rejected by the city, there is very obviously a huge house that's getting built here. Google Street View shows even more evidence that work is happening. These images are from about a year ago, and there's workers on site like currently doing work. And the most recent footage I could find was Guy here on TikTok. He visited the site a couple months ago, and in his video the house is in the background, and still most definitely being worked on. What's crazy is that it was back in 2017 when Micheal's newer plans were officially approved. According to this website, they start by saying over the last several days Save Our Hillsides has been talking with Micheal Scott and his reps about how he could address the concerns about his property house. And they're grateful to say that at this point, after much conversation, Mr. Scott agreed to a number of reductions that go to the heart of what many of us have been concerned about for years. This new, smaller, revised project had a 47,000 feet reduction in floor area. There was a 30,000 feet reduction in the deck areas. He was adding 26,000 feet of green landscaped areas. There's a 51% reduction in the size of the pools. And then check this out. This is probably the most interesting part. So he is going to do a 99.8% reduction in the total diet export that we were talking about a minute ago. And the way he is going to do this is he's modifying the two large hillside decks in his most recent proposal. The purpose of these decks is to provide a place to conceal the dirt that needs to be moved on site to build the house. And if the dirt is not concealed in these deck enclosures, then it would need to be hauled away in massive trucks through the community. I mean, you got to hand it to the guy. That's a pretty creative solution. And for him to still be able to build what's probably going to be about 50,000 square feet house is basically not have to haul any dirt away is an incredible feat. Let's be honest. He's going to move the pool and the beach volleyball court closer to the house and farther away from the neighbors, so that won't be a nuisance. He's adding a wildlife corridor by planting 43 trees, including protected trees. He agreed to sign a covenant that prohibits anybody from making changes to these conditions to the property in the future, meaning that there's not a future owner who's going to be able to go turn this into a party house. They're going to have to preserve those decks the way they were built by Micheal. They're going to have to preserve that wildlife corridor and not take that over and convert that into party space. It's pretty wild though. Like this Save Our Hillsides entity ends by thanking Micheal Scott for all these reductions. They make a statement that it is now no longer necessary to fight his permits because he basically complied with everything they were looking for him to comply with. As far as I could tell, if I had to guess, just looking at the conditions of this site as of today, Micheal has at least 3 or 4 more years worth of construction to do here before the house is finished. It makes me wonder if by the time he's done with it, if he even cares about having a massive party house in Beverly Crest as much as he did way back in 2014. I guess we can cross our fingers that by the time he finishes it, he just has a change of heart and decides to list it for sale instead of moving in there. That way we get to actually see how this infamous property turned out. Hope you guys enjoyed the episode. I'll see you next video.